Hi there, it's Dave here from davestravelpages.com, and this is day one of my Hercules Bike Tour around the Peloponnese of Greece. Don't know if you can see the bike there, just taking a well-deserved break. I'm currently about 20 kilometres outside of Athens, and I'm taking a bit of a break here on this patch of ground. Don't know if you can see the poppies there, isn't that beautiful? So, today's ride should take me to Corinth. It's about a 100 kilometre cycle ride, and the weather is warm. It's about 23 degrees today, the sky's clear, so it's all looking good. A little bit about the tour itself. I've based this tour on the legends of Hercules and the 12 labours, and what I'm doing is I'm visiting sites in the Peloponnese that are connected with the myth. The tour itself is about a month long, and what I'm going to do is make a vlog a day during the tour, and during the vlogs I'm going to share with you, clips from the road, things about bike touring, but also things about Greek mythology, Hercules and the 12 labours, and archaeological sites here in Greece. That's probably enough talking for now. I'm going to share some clips from the road with you, and I will speak to you in a bit. Cheers. So this is my first archaeological site of the trip, and this is about 40 kilometres outside of Athens, or at least 40 kilometres on the route I've taken, and this is the site of Elefsina. And Elefsina is rather confusingly spelt Elefsina. It's due to the way that Greek is translated into English. So it's no wonder I get these place names wrong, really, is it? So why am I here? Well, Elefsina was a centre of something called the Elefsinian Mysteries, and it was connected with worshipping Demeter. And Demeter was, well, they think it was to do with the afterlife. It was to do with Demeter and Persephone. And basically Hercules, on his last labour, he was due to catch the three-headed dog, and he had to go down into the underworld to do that, and the three-headed dog was called Cerberus. But to do that, he had to be inducted into the Elefsinian Mysteries first. So he would have come to this site, and I believe, although we're going to find out later, that the mysteries took place in some sort of ceremony or ritual which lasted 9 days. I'm just at the beginning of the archaeological site at the minute. You can see that big crowd of people over there. So I'm going to take a walk around, probably show you some little clips from in here, and then we'll have a look in the museum and see if it reveals anything else to us. And apparently the museum is behind that hill, so I don't know if it's that building behind the church up there, but we will soon find out. Okay, here we go. Not even going to try and pronounce any of those names. You can read it for yourself. So as you can probably see, there's not much of the site left itself, which is a bit of a shame. But there are one or two features which are quite interesting, I think. Well, interesting to me. Down there, there are some steps, or they look like steps, and some of them look like they're put in blocks of stone, but the bottom row down there looks like it's almost carved out of the rock, which I find interesting, and it's unusual for Greek sites, although I could be completely wrong, of course, so don't take my word for it, come and see it yourself. And there's also some steps there which have been carved out of the natural rock as well. Again, I think this is more unusual for Greek sites. And there also seem to be a lot of waterways around, like water channels. And I've found through travelling that the ancient sites, there's normally a connection with water somewhere, whether it was treated as holy water, life-giving water, just the fact that it was needed. But I imagine if this site was some sort of religious site, it would have been because it was treated in some holy fashion. So I'm just making my way to the museum now. So that's the first archaeological site of the tour, and I've just shown you around the museum as well. I thought the site, I'm just walking down by the way, I hope I don't break my neck. I thought the archaeological site was interesting, not the most spectacular. Quite often you find that the Greek sites aren't that spectacular. If you've ever been to like South America or something like that, and you're completely overwhelmed by the scale of things, but they're a lot more recent. So this archaeological site could have dated back 3,000, 4,000 years when it was originally in use. The most recent ones would have been Roman remains, but the height of its Greekness, so to speak, was probably around between 900 and 600 BC. I thought there was a couple of interesting aspects of the site. As I mentioned, the things being carved out of the natural rock, which is reasonably unusual for Greece. And there was a few other things as well, which I've showed you in the museum, the ram's head, and maybe we'll come back to why I think that's important at some point during these vlogs. So for now, it's back to hit the road, although actually I think I'm going to go and get some lunch because I'm quite hungry. And I think I've got about 60 kilometres left to cycle to Corinth. So, more clips on the road, unless my lunch is spectacularly good, in which case I'll share some clips of my lunch. Speak in a bit. Kilometres into the journey, and I've just completed a short, sharp and steep section, so I thought I'd admire the view. Well, that's actually code for give my legs a quick break. So I don't know if you can see there, just down there, that's an old railway track, and I think that runs all the way from Athens to Corinth, and it's kind of my dream that one day an EU funding will turn that into a bike track, so I think that'd be pretty awesome. And I guess out there is what would they be, oyster farming maybe, something like that. So I think I've got about 35 kilometres left to go to Corinth, and there we go, I'll get on with it. So here we have the obligatory stop at Corinth Canal, and I had heard that recently some of the sides had collapsed, but nothing seems to be going on down there. It's about 5 o'clock, so the light is probably a little bit dimmer than it normally is. And the bike is over there somewhere, you can probably see it in the background. So, don't know why I just turned around there, it was a bit unneeded. I'm going to carry on in that direction, and my hotel should be about, I don't know, a kilometre away, something like that. So, I'll speak to you from there. Hi there, so that's the first day's ride over and done with. 104 kilometres in the end, and I reached Corinth, I think it was about 5:30. I had a few stops along the way, obviously at the archaeological sites and at the canal, and a few eating stops as well, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So it was a relatively easy day's ride. The 104 kilometres, over that distance, I very much doubt I did more than 1,000 metres of total ascent, and the weather conditions were just fine. The hotel room that I've got here in Corinth is €26 a night, so you can imagine the quality of the hotel room, and I will show you the room quickly before I sign off for the day. Is there anything else to say for the day's ride? No, I don't think so. Tomorrow I should be going to Nafplio, and that's about 60 kilometres, so it shouldn't be too much riding there. And I am stopping off at 1, if not 2 archaeological sites along the way. So all I need to do now is get in the shower, wash this clothes, and hopefully it will dry for the next day. And that's it. So I will see you in the next video, but I will quickly show you around the hotel room first. Okay, quick look at the hotel room. This is what you get for €26 a night, and the €26 a night actually includes breakfast as well, which I can only imagine will be a phenomenal breakfast. So I'll have a backup anyway. Let's take you out onto the balcony. Corinth itself doesn't look to be the most awesome town in the world, and it's a bit noisy. I hope it's going to be a bit quieter later on. And I'm on the 4th floor. And I've started spreading my stuff out already, as you can see. I've got some stuff charging over there in the wall. So double bed. The Wi-Fi seems to work okay. And the bathroom, let's turn the light on. That should probably help somewhat. We have the loo and we have the shower. So it's just got everything I need. It's not the Ritz, but I don't need the Ritz. So that's it for this video. Oh, look, you can see me in the mirror. That's it for this video. So if you liked it, please thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers for now.